everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome to Season 3 of Royal Clan in ClanGen. I've really been in the mood for our pixel cats lately, and since I've just wrapped up another series, I thought we'd get back into this. If you want to watch previous seasons of this clan or read the rules I used to play, I'll leave a link to all of that in the description below. When we left off at the end of the last season, we were facing some pretty heavy things. One of our cats had just died from frostbite while searching for herbs in Leaf Bear, and another cat had a really bad infection. It is now moon 120. We are in the first turn of New Leaf, and there's been some changes, like the fact that our 3 apprentices have aged up into fully fledged warriors. You might also notice the absence of one cat, which we'll get into in a little bit. Now, it's been 5 months since we last visited these guys, so obviously our memories might be a little hazy, which is why I thought we'd remind ourselves on how everyone is related. So, Queen Rainstar is our leader, the mate of Shining Stripe, and the mother of Fiercetooth. Hemlock is our royal advisor, the mate of Bear Pelt, and the mother of Lion Freckle, Lotus Gaze, and Scorch Hollow. Inkfeather is our royal physician and the mother of Foxclaw. Shining Stripe is our matchmaker and the brother of Flare Freckle and Bear Pelt. Foxclaw is one of our warriors and is the mate of Fiercetooth. The clan is currently waiting for a litter from this match. Freezefur is one of our warriors with no living relatives in the clan. Cinnamon Tail is one of our warriors and the son of Garlic Glow. Lion Freckle, Lotus Gaze, and Scorch Hollow are brothers who have just aged up into warriors, so you guys might remember them looking a little bit different. You might remember them as apprentices. Garlic Glow is one of our retired she-cats, and that's all we have for the family connections. And now let's get into events. So first off guys, the cat that some of you might have noticed was not in the lineup, who was in the lineup at the end of the last season. Ghost Feather has died from an infection, guys. Ghost Feather. This was our lovely Ghost Feather. He was actually the brother, I think, of Foxclaw and the son of Inkfeather, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the brother of Foxclaw and the son of Inkfeather. I'm so distraught that we lost him. I'm pretty sure he got infected from a rat bite, and it got severe enough that he lost his life, but that was a bit of an unexpected loss. I was really hoping, I think in the last season, that he would recover, especially because not too long before him, we had the death of another cat, Icicle Speck. So, okay. Queen Rainstar was caught outside of the clan's territory. Lionpaw's torn pelt has healed, so I think when we left off, yeah, the 3 brothers that I spoke about, they were apprentices, and one of them, the, I think, eldest, Lionpaw, had a torn pelt, which thankfully healed before his ceremony. And then our ceremonies. Bear Pelt can hardly believe how quickly time has passed since Lionpaw was a kid. It still feels just like yesterday that he was tumbling around the nursery, chasing after a moss ball or some other cat's tail. Misty-eyed with pride and joy, Bear Pelt throws his head back and tries to cheer the loudest as Lionpaw is named Lion Freckle and honored for his fearlessness. Now, normally I don't like it when my cats have similar names to other cats in the clan. We already have a Flare Freckle, so I didn't really want Lion Freckle to keep the second half of his name. However, I realized that Flare Freckle was his aunt, and unfortunately, her mate and all of her children have died, so I thought it would be nice for her legacy to be passed on in some way through her nephew, and they do have similar sort of patterning, so I figured we'd keep that. But let's take a look at Lion Freckle a bit closer. So this is Lion Freckle, a young adult male with green-yellow eyes, a rosette pelt, short fur. He is childish, a great teacher, which is very nice, and you know, he is clan-born, so he is a complete royal by blood. In terms of what he learned, so he was mentored by his cousin Fiercetooth. Fierce Tooth influenced him to be more likely to be consistent, be ready for a fight, and bicker with others. Fierce Tooth helped him become better at teaching. When he graduated, he was honored for his fearlessness. Okay, that's kind of nice. It makes sense if his cousin was the one teaching him about all these things, why he ended up being so childish. I suppose he wasn't given very stern instruction, I suppose. But that's really cute. And in terms of in terms of the bloodlines, so he is a carrier of 2 royal bloodlines, he and his brothers, from the 1st and 7th founding royals, which was very interesting. Okay, going back. Let's see. Bebhelt gives Lotus Paw a friendly nudge when the leader calls the young cat's name. He watches with pride as Lotus Paw steps forward to receive his new name, Lotus Gaze, and is honored for his power. Okay, Lotus Gaze, this is the middle brother. He's actually my favorite in the litter. Look at how cool he is. He has heterochromia eyes. One of his eyes is green-yellow and the other is sunlit ice. I think he gets the green-yellow from his mother, if I'm not mistaken. And he gets the sunlit ice from his father, which is so cool. But not only that, his coat, I just love the coloring and the pattern. Doesn't he look like a latte cat? He looks like a coffee cat. I just love it. Looks so good. But okay, he is apparently bloodthirsty, a good speaker, and a great teacher. So if we look at this, he was mentored by his father, Bebhelt. Bebhelt influenced him to be more likely to use words over teeth and claws, be friendly towards others, and adapt easily. Bebhelt helped him become better at teaching and arguing. When he graduated, he was honored for his power. Okay, that is intriguing to me, that despite all of this instruction, he ended up bloodthirsty. Now, obviously, I don't remember what sort of traits he and his brothers had when they were apprentices, but I almost wonder if he was already kind of inclined in this direction, and his father kind of helped him cope a little bit better with his bloodthirstiness by telling him to speak more rather than fighting, be friendly and be adaptable, all these kind of things, better at expressing yourself, arguing, but also imparting knowledge and teaching. I really like that. But I think so far, if we look at the current cast of characters we have, Lotus Gaze, even the name is so pretty, might be my favorite. Okay, next. As the clan cheers for the new warrior Scorch Hollow, Bebhelt purrs loudly. His kit is finally a warrior. A new journey has begun for Scorch Hollow, and Bebhelt knows that Scorch Hollow's affection will lead him through anything. Okay, let's take a look. Scorch Hollow is another really cool looking cat. He has green-yellow eyes, which I suppose he inherited from his mother. I'm gonna have to check that, because I'm pretty sure Bebhelt has the sunlit ice eyes. But let's see, he is loving, a den builder, and a great teacher. Okay, he was mentored by his uncle, Shining Stripe, and his mother, Hemlock, towards the end, but I'm assuming that most of his training was done under his uncle, because it seems as though he's learned everything from his uncle. So Shining Stripe influenced him to be more likely to resort to violence. Shining Stripe helped him become better at teaching. And when he graduated, he was honored for his affection. Okay, I kind of love that. The fact that his uncle was almost trying to corrupt him, and despite that, he turned out to be a very loving cat. The complete opposite to his gentle-looking but bloodthirsty brother, Lotus Gaze. I think that's definitely something to be noted. But also, all of these brothers seem to have some variation of being a good teacher. Actually, all of them are great teachers, which makes me really happy. That means hopefully the cats in the coming generations are going to be quite well off, because they will have some really great teachers lined up for them. So that's what we have for these cats. And then for the vigils. Shining Stripe looks at all the cats sitting vigil for Ghost Feather, and wonders how any of them will cope without Ghost Feather in their lives. He can't be bothered to get up out of his nest the next day, refusing to speak a word to those around him. Flare Freckle is rocked by the loss of Ghost Feather, all those memories and shared moments and our burdens that she must carry alone. Cats offer her comfort and care. She refuses all of it. Bear Pelt closes his eyes and tries to picture Ghost Feather as he was in life, happy and healthy. Cats come to him afterwards, offering him the biggest, juiciest pieces of fresh kill, but he refuses it all, staring at the walls of his den in silence. The past moon, Ghost Feather has taken their place in Star Clan. Royal Clan mourns their loss, and their clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the relationship events. Shining Stripe thinks Inkfeather is very polite. Shining Stripe asks Freezefur if there's something in his teeth. When Cinnamon Tail gets sick for a few days, Flare Freckle brings him yummy prey and nest bedding. Flare Freckle thanks Foxclaw for covering for her during a patrol earlier. Foxclaw guides Bear Pelt to someone he's looking for. Bear Pelt thinks Fierce Tooth looks nicer than him today. That's his nephew, isn't it? You're jealous of... Oh no, sorry, your niece. That's your niece. You're jealous of your niece? Inkfeather doesn't think there's ever a dull moment with Ghost Feather. Okay, that's kind of nice. Inkfeather can't stand hearing about how helpful Freezefur is. I wish everyone would be nice to Freezefur because Freezefur is clan-born. So he is a royal, but he doesn't have any living relatives. Like, everyone's passed on. His parents, his siblings, if he had any. So, I just want him to be happy and have friends, you know? Foxclaw admires how brave Shining Stripe is. Foxclaw talks with Scorchpaw about some clan drama. So these events happened before our apprentices became warriors, before they had their ceremony. Freezefur called Garlic Glow the wrong name. Freezefur didn't expect Fierce Tooth to be so amicable today. Garlic Glow calms down when realizing Shining Stripe is nearby. And then Garlic Glow did some morning stretches with a bunch of cats. Garlic Glow notices that Lotus Paw overslept. Queen Rainstar has a lot of fun with Flare Freckle. The clan is surprised to see Queen Rainstar and Lotus Paw chatting casually over a meal. Cinnamon Tail and Fierce Tooth bring each other prey. Hemlock and Cinnamon Tail find a hidden part of the territory and keep it a secret together. Hemlock and Cinnamon Tail have a long discussion about goals and aspirations and find that they both have a lot in common. The whole clan notices how close Fierce Tooth and Flare Freckle are lately. Queen Rainstar says something vulnerable to Lion Freckle. Okay. And beforehand, Fierce Tooth is the niece of Flare Freckle. Flare Freckle is also another cat who is kind of, well, I suppose I was going to say similar to Freezefur in a lot of ways, but she at least still has her brothers around. She still has Shining Stripe and Bear Pelt. And, you know, she's got nieces and nephews that can spend time with her, so she's not nearly as alone as Freezefur is. Lotus Gaze shares a joke about a neighboring clan with Flare Freckle. Garlic Glow doesn't laugh when Scorch Hollow does something embarrassing. Shining Stripe, and then we have the vigil for Ghost Feather, of course. Okay, and it seems as though... Wait, hold on a second... At some point, okay, so between Rainstar and Lotus Paw chatting casually, and Rainstar saying something vulnerable to Lion Freckle, the apprentices aged up, or they had their ceremony. Okay, and that's what we have for the relationships. We'll dive into the medicine cat den so that we can check up on our hurt and sick cats. So in the den, I suppose these are with serious injuries perhaps. Oh yes, very serious injuries or sicknesses. Hemlock actually has frostbite. Cinnamon Tail has a white cough. So yeah, I really hope these two make it. They seem to be in a very, very vulnerable position. Outside of the den, Shining Stripe, Flare Freckle, Bear Pelt, and Garlic Glow are all grief-stricken. I think grief-stricken over Icicle Speck, who died at the end of the last season, and then, of course, over Ghost Feather, who's just passed on. Now, Garlic Glow, I think, was she the mate of Icicle Speck? Was she? She was. Okay, so Cinnamon Tail is their child. Right, and she still hasn't recovered from that, and now they've been hit with another death. Okay, so there's that. Thankfully, no minor sicknesses or injuries. Let's check out the log. Shining Stripe was given Poppy as treatment for grief-stricken. They will heal sooner. Flare Freckle was given Poppy as treatment for grief-stricken. They will heal sooner. Ghost Feather was given Marigold as treatment for infected wound, and we were promised that they would heal sooner. Ink Feather thought that she would be able to heal Ghost Feather. Unfortunately, she was not able to save her own son. That'd be very rough. And the fact that Ink Feather, despite losing her son, is still kind of powering through. I suppose she knows that she's the royal physician and a lot of cats are relying on her, so she can't break down. Rosemary was used for Ghost Feather's body. Yeah, he died from the infection. Garlic Glow was given Juniper as treatment for grief-stricken. The risks associated with their condition are lowered. Cinnamon Tail was given Mullen as treatment for white cough. They will heal sooner. I seriously hope they do. Hemlock was given Ragwort as treatment for frostbite. They will heal sooner. Linepaw was given Raspberry as treatment for torn pelt. The risks associated with their condition are lowered. Linepaw's torn pelt has healed. And then Inkfeather gathered Juniper this moon. Inkfeather, you are the mother of Ghostfeather, right? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, that's what we have for the Medicine Cat Den. Now let's go through the cat list. The first thing I do want to check is whether or not our new warriors, Line Freckle, Lotus Gaze, and Scorch Hollow, are loyalists of Queen Rainstar. So the way I typically decide loyalists is that I go to the relationships of a cat when they become a warrior, and then I see whether or not the leader is in the first 4 relationships with them. And if the leader is, then it means that cat believes in the leader and is loyal to them. As you can see, that is not the case. Rainstar is not one of the first 4 cats that show up in terms of who's closest to Linefreckle. So Linefreckle is not a loyalist, and neither are his brothers. So that's something to keep in mind. They don't have too much of a fondness for Rainstar. And interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure Rainstar is a cat who is elevated to royalty. I think she was she? I'm actually unsure about. I'm gonna have to check up on the name of the clan that lives outside the grotto. I know the vampires have Initiate Clan. Is it Servant Clan? I might be wrong, but we have a whole bunch of cats that live outside the clan. These cats are known, I think, as Servant Clan, and are only kind of called into the grotto when we require them for breeding. But the clan is usually very strict about who's allowed in the royal grotto. So anyways, I'm pretty sure Rainstar was one of the cats that was elevated from her servant status. Actually, we should have a note for her. Yeah, she was raised to nobility by Queen Garlicstar. Okay, so I suppose... this is Royal Clan. We do have our royals, which, she is... okay, hold on. I'm trying to, figure this out as I'm playing, and I'm coming to certain realizations. Basically, our royals stem from founding cats. So when we started this clan, we had 10 founding cats, and they were the 10 royal bloodlines. So all the cats descended from them who are born within the grotto, born within Royal Clan, they count as royals. However, outside the grotto, we have servant clan or servant cats. Cats that are raised from servitude and invited into the grotto count as nobility. They don't actually count as royal. You have to be born a royal. So that makes sense. Even though Rainstar is queen, she comes from noble origins. She's not a true royal. So that's probably why no one except for Cinnamon Tail and Fierce Tooth are actually loyal to Queen Rainstar because she's not more like one of their own. I'm pretty sure Hemlock and Garlic Glow are also of noble origins. They were elevated to nobility. But every other, actually no, Inkfeather as well. I think Hemlock, yeah, Rainstar, Hemlock, Inkfeather, and Garlic Glow are all cats who were from Servant Clan and they were elevated to nobility. Every other cat that we have, they are royals because they were born within the clan, descended from royalty. Intriguing, intriguing. But let's see what everyone is up to. Queen Rainstar is thinking about what to say at the gathering. Hemlock is waiting to watch the sunset. Inkfeather defensively states that she doesn't need any comfort about Ghostfeather's death, and the fact that she is a loyal cat definitely makes me think that even though she is really hurt inside and grieving, at the end of the day, she knows a lot of cats are relying on her. She has an important role in the clan. She doesn't want to let them down, which is why she's kind of holding all of that grief in. Also, yes, Hemlock does have green-yellow eyes. I keep forgetting to check this. She does have green-yellow eyes. Okay, Shining Stripe wonders how Garlic Glow is doing. Flare Freckle is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Bear Pelt saw some wandering two-legs today. Foxclaw begs Ghostfeather not to leave them all. Oh, Foxclaw. He doesn't want his brother to leave. Now he's an only child. Freezefur enjoys the warmth of New Leaf. Cinnamon Tail is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Fierce Tooth is wondering if she's good enough. Aw, Fierce Tooth. Line Freckle is napping. Lotus Gaze has been disappearing often recently. Scorch Hollow is feeling a bit ill. And Garlic Glow has been enjoying her old age. And that's all we have for the cat list. Finally, we are on to patrols. So we currently have 66 prey and we need 38. We'll send out our royal physician, Inkfeather, first off to see how things go. And I'm kind of worried. I never thought I'd have to be worried about the physicians, but Icicle Speck literally died while he was a royal physician, if he was gathering herbs. So I'm a little bit worried about Inkfeather, but that was in Leaf Bear. Leaf Bear can be dangerous. We are in New Leaf now. The season's like really friendly at this point. So let's send her out and see what she gets up to. While searching for some specific herbs, Inkfeather is startled by weird sounds and whispers on the wind. Proceed. Oh. Sure that it is a sign from StarClan, Inkfeather follows the faint wailing. Instead, she finds a queen who lost their life in a harsh kidding. The newborn kits clinging to a body that will never move again. Inkfeather instantly wraps herself around the kits and starts thinking about what she'll need to do to move them to camp. Okay. So Little One's ghost now wanders. Fringe kits, branch kits, nightingale kits join the clan. Now, if you guys are familiar with the way I do my roles, in none of these, kits or found cats are allowed to stay within the clan. They basically will be taken into Servant Clan who live outside of the Royal Grotto. But thankfully, because this isn't Vampire Clan, these kids are gonna be alive. Like, they're not gonna be killed, and their blood is not gonna be drank by the vampire cats. No. It's kind of nice and refreshing to, be part of a clan that is not so bloodthirsty and terrifying. But let's take a look at these new kits. Okay, Fringe Kit is a female with sunlit ice eyes and self-conscious. Branch Kit is a male with heather blue eyes, and he's a bullying male. And let's see, Nightingale Kit has sage eyes and is shy. Branch Kit has a permanent condition. He's paralyzed? I did not... Is this like a new update or something? Because I don't remember kittens being born with permanent conditions. Like, I don't remember that being a thing. And he was just born. That is wild. Okay, but they're going to be sent out to Servant Clan. And Servant Clan has a lot of cats to take care of them. So don't worry. But we're going to send these little cats out. Okay. Branch Kit... You're going to be sent out to Servant Clan. Nightingale Kits are going to be sent to Servant Clan. So it's not as though we turn them away, but the Royal Grotto is very, very particular and tightly knit, and You know, they're real cats. They have a lot of rules around who's allowed and who's not. But okay, now we're going to send our cats out on patrol. So it seems as though we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 1. So let's see. First off, we have Fierce Tooth, Freeze Fur, Queen Rainstar, Lion Freckle, Lotus Gaze, and Scorch Hollow. Also, we couldn't do any mediation, or as I like to call it, matchmaking, because I only do matchmaking for my mated cats who I want litters from, which right now is Foxclaw and Fierce Tooth, but Shining Stripe is grieving, so our matchmaker is like out of business, which is why we kind of moved on from that. But okay, let's send these guys out and see what they come across. Queen Rainstar has a vision for a clever battle move, but she needs a couple cats to practice it with. Proceed. Pulling the patrol together into a huddle, Rainstar explains the plan. Together, they're going to practice a coordinated kind of tackle intended to shove an enemy warrior off a clanmate, knock them silly, and give enough time to rescue their injured clanmate. Looking around the determined faces, Queen Rainstar nods. They can do this. Okay, nice. And then we have Foxclaw, who's going to go off on his own. As Foxclaw sets off to see what he can find for the fresh kill pile, the newly sun feels weak, but the grass is sprouting and the trees of the forest are coated in mangy pelts of not quite unfurled leaf buds. Let's see what he can rustle up. Proceed. The forest is coming alive again after Leaf Bear, but it's still recovering, and the bank vole Foxclaw finds looks on the scrawny side. Still, together with an uncracked bird egg fallen from its nest, that's a decent contribution to bring back to the camp. A medium amount of prey is brought to camp. And you know what, guys? I kind of feel as though... So now we have 73.2 prey. I kind of feel as though some things have changed. Because I'm kind of seeing, I'm seeing things like events and such that I don't remember seeing when I last played a couple months ago. So that's kind of exciting. That is really, really exciting. And that's all we have for today. It was a mixed sort of beginning to Season 3. We had the death of Ghost Feather, but then the excitement of our apprentices becoming warriors. But I hope you guys are excited to see our ClanGen series again, and let me know if you have a favorite cat from the current cast. Mine's definitely Lotus Gaze. Also, now that we don't have any kittens or apprentices in the clan, I'll be playing off camera until we get a pregnancy notice, so the next time we come back, we'll have something to celebrate. But I will be keeping notes of major events and let you guys know what happened. With that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.